ace of jack. I got my bullets and diamonds and I ain't holding back. I'm all in. Yeah, I'm gonna kick it. Pocket rocket's a ticket. If you got what it takes, and you can play high stakes. I'm all in. These ladies ain't ladies unless they're your ladies. Put your hand on a monster if that's what it takes. And if you got what it takes, and you can play high stakes.
Previously on High Stakes Poker, amateur blood was spilled when Fred Shamanara tangled with poker legend Johnny Chan in an all-or-nothing showdown.
That's what I got here.
In the end, Shamanara was left in a state of shock and sent packing. Kid Poker Daniel Negreanu watched helplessly as players outdrew him time after time, reducing his $1 million buy-in to a new low of $600,000.
Are you serious?
Tonight, a new chapter begins. Barry Greenstein's former girlfriend Mimi Tran tries to avenge his big loss.
Mine.
Poker's odd couple Shawn Sheikhan and Todd Brunson are back.
Turn his hand up in the middle of the head.
And everybody is out to win big money. From the Golden Nugget Hotel and Casino in downtown Vegas, we're playing High Stakes Poker. AJ Benzie here alongside co-host and poker analyst Gabe Kaplan. Gabe, Doyle Brunson leaves and his son takes over. Mimi Tran joins the game and she's friends with Barry Greenstein. My question is, how much information do these guys share when they're away from the table?
Well, if you talk about people in the same family, people that are good friends, they're going to share a lot of information. If one of the players at the table is steaming on tilt, they're going to let the other player know that. One thing they're not going to share is if any of these guys get a phone number for one of those cocktail waitresses, I don't think they'll be sharing that.
I think you're right. Well, tonight, nice mix of people. New faces, old faces. What do you think?
Well, we got Bob Stupak, former owner of Vegas World, former builder of the Stratosphere, former mayoral candidate from Las Vegas. He's going to sit down. And Poker's odd couple, Todd Brunson and Shawn Sheikhan are back.
Yeah, you can feel it. Love is in the air. Now let's see who cashes in on it.
And we start out with Shawn Sheikhan trying to grab Mimi Tran's seat. Mimi's on her way. Shawn wanted to play a few hands.
There's Bob Stupak. He starts things off. He's an amateur and developer of the Stratosphere Casino. He bought in for $100,000. There's No Limit Hold'em specialist Fast Freddy Deeb, won $75,000 and starts tonight with $175,000. Dr. Amina Siri, another amateur, is up $40,000. Begins tonight with $140,000. Johnny Chan, a big winner last time, starts tonight with $325,000. He raises to $3,500. Daniel Negreanu started this cash game with $1 million, but is now down to about $600,000. And there's Todd Brunson, rejoins the table, and he's also bought in for $100,000.
And that's that periscope shot of Sammy that everybody was asking
I'm
for.
$900 behind. That's just between me and you.
Oh, and Sammy with an ace-jack of diamonds is going to raise, let's see how much, $15,000. Make it $18,500 to go. And Mr. Johnny
How much
Chan.
more you got there, about 100?
A little bit less. You're talking to me?
About 90.
Bob Stupak was not even in the hand. Wanted to know if Johnny Chan was asking him how much money he has. No, Bob. Johnny doesn't care about you.
Terrible Bob De Niro impression as well.
You talk to
Only
me.
Sammy.
And
gamble, man.
Daniel
Maybe you got a
Negreanu
flush.
calls with a 9-10 of clubs gambling
You
here.
never know.
So the flop, Jack 10 ace with 2 hearts. Sammy's flop top 2 pair. And he bets $20,000.
Now, Daniel, who made an ambitious call before the flop, looks like he's going to call here. All he's got is a pair of 10s and a backdoor flush draw. Daniel has loosened up.
Turn card to 6 of clubs.
All in?
Looks like Sammy's going all in here, Gabe.
Sammy's going all in. He's got top 2 pair, and that 6 of clubs is going to complicate things for
I understand
Daniel
I wanna know
because
how
he
much.
picked up his flush draw.
20, 30,
He believes you.
40,
And it seems like Daniel wants to gamble this hand.
50.
But every time these two guys clash, it looks like Sammy's walked away with his money each time.
But this time, Sammy has the best hand.
55, 1.
55-1?
Daniel
I think
is
so, unless
on a
I'm
draw.
mistaken. 50,
He's going to need a 10 or a club to win,
53, 54,
as long as it's not
1.
the jack of clubs.
55-1 to bust Sammy, get him stuck. And then have
And
a
if
game.
I win, I'll leave.
I should.
If
Doyle
you
said he would
miss,
take
I'll
2
be
to
out
1.
of here.
Doyle said he would take like the worst, the 2 to 1, just to get you stuck and steaming. So I should probably do the same thing. How much? 50 what?
I'll be out of here if I win.
Please
remember.
don't make him leave.
55-1.
You know they're all sweating against you, Daniel.
I'm just trying to bust you back because you beat me so many times.
That's a bad move. You're running so bad against me. You shouldn't
I
do
know.
it.
due to change, right?
I'm telling you, you shouldn't do it.
55-1.
I know I got the best hand. I don't
Well, yeah, I
mind
know
the
that.
gamble.
That's not
You
the
must be
issue.
flushing. You want to put a flush on me, right?
Yep. Something like that.
Straight in.
All right, I'll gamble with you.
All right.
Once or twice.
What do you want? I don't care.
It's up to you. You decide this time.
Okay, keep it like. Okay, you mixed it. Okay. What are we going against? Twice is fine. But what am I sweating your hand for?
Well, they've agreed to run it twice, and
You got
if
a pair?
Daniel is really trying to buzz
How big?
Sammy,
Very big.
it's hard
I
for him
need
to
a
get
10
help
then.
twice.
Twice what you were doing. Okay.
Best he can hope
put me
for
on a
is
10
to
also.
win one of these
Call on the club. There's a heart on the
and
club.
wind up splitting the pot.
Okay, that's him.
That's
First river cards native diamond, so Farha takes the first round.
And Daniel's going to need a club or a 10 to split the pot. He doesn't get it.
7 of spades won't do it.
blackjack.
That's
Sammy points out that he has blackjack with the ace-jack. I wonder if
I'm
he would have
leaving.
pointed that out if he lost the pot. I don't
good.
think
He
so.
lost.
I think you're right.
I
Once
said
again,
that. Okay,
Farha
I
beats Negreanu for another monster pot. This one worth over $191,000 in cash. That's $250,000 that Farha's taken from Negreanu alone. And there's Mimi Tran, one of the best female cash game players. She's a new face joining the table.
I learned how to play poker from Barry Greenstein. Barry taught me I gotta be confident for myself and not, let people push me around.
Barry taught her well.
No, he just looked
If you
at
want
two
to
hands.
push Mimi Tran around now, you need a bulldozer.
Howdy.
Bob don't want to play no poker. He just wants to get on TV. Oh, there's Bob.
And Mimi's bought in the game for $100,000 to start with. She raises to $2,200 with an ace deuce of spades.
Freddie Deeb was complaining that Bob Stupek's not playing any hands.
And Brunson called an ace-9 of clubs. Farha must be feeling it. He's playing 7-3 of clubs like they're aces here, Gabe.
Should I take it?
Well, everything's working for him. When things work, you go with the flow.
Flop comes 4-8-3 with 2 spades.
Big flop for Mimi Tran on her first hand. She's flopped a nut flush draw and an inside straight draw. She'd make a straight with a 5.
55.
And she bets $5,500 on a draw.
Well, this is a big draw. AJ, this is the kind of draw you want to bet on. And Sammy has pair of threes, which is actually the best hand right now. Mimi's a favorite to win the hand, but right now Sammy has the best hand. And everything Sammy's been doing has worked.
That's scary. That move scared me.
Mimi got a little excited. She actually put too much money in the pot.
Scared me a little bit, Mimi.
And Sammy calls.
Turns to king of diamonds.
No help for Mimi. Let's see if she bets out again. No, she checks. And Sammy checks his threes.
River, 6 of spades, and Tran makes her flush.
She makes the nut flush. She has the best possible hand right now. The best hand known to man.
She bets $8,000.
That's what they say here at the Nugget at the baccarat table. When you make a 9, it's the best hand known to man. And the nut flush was the best hand known to Tran.
And Mimi takes down a pot worth over $27,000. She shoots first and gets a small piece of Sammy. And I'm sure these two will fire a few more shots at each other soon. We're at the Golden Nugget Resort in downtown Vegas playing high-stakes poker. You have a front row seat to the biggest cash game ever shown on television. Hundreds of thousands of dollars have been won and lost in single hands. And there's one of our new faces tonight, Mimi Tran. Just won a pot worth over $27,000. Todd Brunson's got an ace-queen offsuit. Raises to $3,000.
What did Doyle tell you to play every hand?
Yeah.
It's the seat. Oh, it's the seat. Okay.
Talking is a big part of Freddie Deeb's game.
Or maybe it's this.
Here Freddie calls with a
you
queen 9 of
drinking?
hearts.
Okay. Bob, you're not the only one drinking. Todd is. Todd.
Nasiri's got an ace-jack offsuit.
Bob just came to lock up a seat.
Somebody's on the list, isn't it?
Now, Doc Nasiri's raised to $13,000 here
Tell him if
with his ace-jack. He's dominated by Todd, who has ace-queen. And Todd is giving Doc Nasiri too much credit. He just thought Doc Nasiri has a big hand with that $13,000 raise, but Freddie Deeb is going to call with his queen 9 of hearts.
Solo go heads up to the flop. 9-6-5. Deep flops top pair.
And Doc Nasiri flops nada, nothing. He's still got ace high. He made a very ambitious $13,000 raise with ace-jack offsuit, and now he's going to follow it up and bet again.
A $15,000 bet in cash.
And he's fooling around with fast Freddy Deeb here. I can't see Freddy throwing his nines away. Freddy might even raise here. They don't call him Fast Freddy for nothing, but he slows down a little bit and just calls.
So we'll go to the turn card. 10 of clubs.
Now let's see if Doc Nasiri can fire another round. He still has just got ace high. He's got a lot of money invested, as the players say. He's got a lot of his children out there.
40,000.
Wow, big play. $40,000 in cash from Nasiri.
I am surprised. He really looks like he has a hand, and he's playing it like he's got aces, kings, or maybe even 3 10s. I know what his cards are, and I would fold if I were Freddy Deeb. Doc Nasiri's playing his hand great, and Freddy Deeb is confused. He smells something, but like Todd Brunson, he's giving Doc Nasiri credit for a big hand.
All right, go ahead.
Now Freddy Deeb folds. So the amateur Dr. Amir Nasiri outplays the pro and wins the
And
hand.
look at this. Doc turned over the ace-jack. Showed the pro, hey, Mr. Pro Poker Player, I outplayed you that hand.
He bluffed me. He bluffed me.
How'd you beat with a jack kicker?
Yeah, I said you bluffed me. Good bet.
Amir doesn't look too proud of himself here, does he?
Did you have a piece of that?
Mimi Tran's under the gun. She picks up a pretty good starting hand. Ace queen offsuit, and she raises the $2,200. Farha with ace 10 offsuit call.
Good bet, man.
I hate ace jack. Ace jack has been disastrous hand all night long. All night long. Huh?
So it's Mimi against Sammy again. Flop comes 2 queens and a 9. Mimi's flop trip queens.
I wonder why too sometimes. I don't feel that way about ace 10.
And she bets out 3,000. I love this play. And Sammy, who's got ace 10, ace high, he calls her. If Sammy had ace 9, he would have probably raised.
Turn cards of 4 of clubs, and Farha's now drawing dead.
Oh, look at Mimi, a little check there, but Sammy's not going for it. He checks back.
River cards of 5.
Huh?
And Tran bets $6,000.
And Sammy's starting to suspect that something's going on in this hand. And he releases his hand, and Mimi won as much as she could.
After I called 15,000 on the flop. You tell me it's fat, it's not. It's
Freddy is still steaming about being bluffed, while Mimi takes her second shot at Farha. We're playing high-stakes
I
poker.
don't want you, man. I said somebody will pay. I didn't say you.
Freddie Deeb's still talking about the hand. I think he's going to be talking about it till the tricentennial here. Mimi Tran picks up a pair of kings. She's had some excellent hands here in the short time she's been at the table.
Under the rail.
She raises the $2,200, and now Todd Brunson looks down at pocket 8s.
22.
And he'll stay in the hand.
I gotta make decisions like this.
Does Bob Stupek know there's a poker game going on, Gabe?
Yes, he's aware that there's a poker game going on. He doesn't know he's in it.
That's what I meant. What happens? How much?
Deeb is in with a jack deuce of
Something
diamonds.
happened. My English is not good enough.
And Negreanu calls with an ace 6 offsuit.
I didn't take time.
Loose calls by both Freddie Deeb and Daniel Negreanu.
4
Sorry.
players.
So 4 players remain. Flop comes 2 4s and a 7 with a couple of diamonds.
Okay.
Now again, Mimi Tran's going to bet out here.
$8,000 from Tran.
Good bet.
Chris.
Brunson raises to $28,000.
He's going to find out right now if his 8s are the best hand.
How much?
Now Freddie's got a flush draw,
28 total.
but he decides not to play it.
20, but not 28.
It's $20,000 more for Tran to call here.
Mimi's trying to get some kind of feel as to where Todd is at. If she knew where he was at, that he had a pair of 8s, she would just call and let him hang himself. But she doesn't know. There's a small chance he has a 4, or he could have a flush draw, and she doesn't want to let him draw that flush. He could have ace, jack, ace, queen of diamonds.
All right. This is 88, right? 20 more, right?
20 more.
This is 20. 20, 20, 40. Let me see. 40, I have 60. I'm on.
Wow, Mimi Tran is all in.
Yes, Mimi Tran has decided not to fool around with this hand. She's putting all her money in right now.
You asked.
How much is it?
84.
Johnny, I'm asking her. How much is it?
I'm not sure. It's everything right here in front.
84.
87.
Anything less than 84, I'll make up.
He wants the player to say how much. Can't you guys get it?
Well, you guys are really. We never got it. We never got it. Really out of line.
He doesn't want nobody to say anything except the player in the pot.
Well, I thought I was allowed to do anything I wanted to, Freddie.
Right.
You told me that.
Yes, but you're talking about the hand. It has nothing to do. He doesn't want you to say how much it is. He
I'm
wants to say
not, I'm not talking to him. I'm talking to you.
Oh, okay. I thought you were talking to him.
No, I never talked to him. You to him.
Oh, okay.
You can log on to our website at gsn.com, and when we find out what Bob Stupek is talking about, we will post it. He's probably talking about a high school dance he went to in Pittsburgh in 1953. Todd was trying to get some kind of read from Mimi. He wanted her to answer, and everybody else was answering for her, and Todd didn't like that.
And with a pot worth over $150,000, you kind of see Doyle Brunson's point a little bit.
Now, the only thing Todd is thinking about is maybe Mimi has a flush draw.
Nope. Brunson folds, and Mimi Tran continues to catch the cards and play them well. She takes down another pot, this one worth over $150,000 in cash.
I mean, that's.
We've been doing that all
Well,
today and yesterday.
I
You
don't
got here,
care.
it's a
I
problem,
don't
but
care
it
what
wasn't
the.
before.
That's been the poker
It's
etiquette
not a rule.
for 40.
I mean,
it's
it's
the
like
poker
you ask-
etiquette for
ask
50
somebody.
years, Danny. That's the poker
It wasn't a
etiquette.
big deal. I understand what he said, but
If you're not involved in the pot, you shouldn't be talking. I mean, that's.
everybody does.
See, Mimi has a perfect seat. She's right next to him. She come in with a good hand and doesn't cost her that much money. But if I come in with an average hand, it costs me a fortune. So a position is everything, actually, today's cash game.
The explanation of what Johnny Chan meant will also be posted on the website. He's saying Mimi is in a good position being on
Somebody
Daniel's
else
left,
played against
basically.
me last week with that hand. One broke. I broke him.
Oh, we're talking about history now?
Sammy, you call? I call.
So Farha's in, and Deeb calls with an ace-6 of clubs.
Figure somebody else would.
And Nasheri raises to $3,600 with an 8-6 offsuit.
I have no idea why he's doing this. He just wants to gamble. Doc is itching to put some chips in the pot.
Let's get him.
4 players remain. 9 queens, 7 with 2 clubs.
Big flop. Sammy's flop top 2 pair. Freddie's got the nut flush draw, and Doc Nasir's got an open-end straight draw.
And Sammy gets things going with a $14,000 bet. 3 fast players, all with good reason to go to war. You're watching high-stakes poker action. We've got 4 players in the hand. Sam Farha's flop top 2 pair, Freddy Deeb a nut flush draw, and Amir Nasiri an open-ended straight draw. There's 2 men on base, and Farha at bat. It's $14,000 to go.
Freddy Deeb just calls, and now the ghost of Christmas past comes up to observe what's going on at the table, since he's not playing. And Amir Nasiri has his open-end straight draw. And Bob says, God bless us, everyone, and leaves the table.
Nassiri calls, and now the pot is over $57,000.
Got you out.
A 5 of clubs would stir up some action here.
7 of diamonds.
Well, Freddie didn't make his flush. Amir didn't make his straight. And Sammy's going to bet.
$25,000 play from Sammy Farha.
Now, actually, the 7 gives Freddie one more out. Beside a club, Freddie could win now with an ace. And he calls. Now, Doc Nassiri didn't like the board pairing because Sammy could have a full house already. And even if he makes his straight, it might not be any good. So it'd be hard for him to call right now. Freddie's already called.
And Nassiri folds, so we're down to 2. The river's an 8 of spades. Deeb misses his flush draw. Farha bets 40,000.
Very interesting bet. He's not going to get called here, but it's a very interesting bet. He's hoping that Freddy Deeb has a queen, and he's betting 40,000, the same amount that Amir Nassiri bluffed at Freddy Deeb before. So maybe he's representing that he missed a draw, but Freddy's not going for it. Freddy throws his hand away, but it was a great bet. If Freddy had queen jack, king queen, he probably would have called.
Sam Farha wins the hand and takes down a pot worth over $147,000. And Dr. Amir Nassiri decides to leave. He won $100,000 earlier. He gave $7,000 of it back or so. He decides to call tonight.
Play any hands.
Oh, maybe somebody's dilated about 7 or 8 centimeters.
But the game moves on. Farha with pocket tens raises to 2,500. Freddy Deeb's got a king-queen offsuit.
Is there somebody here to fill that suit?
Raise. 65 more.
Raise a 6. Take that 5.
It's too
Freddy
late.
Deeb
they
is
passed
playing the
over
button
now.
here.
He's gonna get him out. And then
Sammy's been playing a lot of hands,
end up with me here.
and Freddie wants to be alone with Sammy in this hand.
25, 25, 65. There you go. Call him in the dark.
So he raised 6,500 and Sammy called.
Call him.
And
Call
they'll
him.
go at it again.
I'll tell you what I do for you. I'll check in the dark. This way I have
I'm
a chance to
look
raise you.
then. Yeah, I'll look.
I can raise you this time.
Flop comes 8, 5, 6, different suits, and Farha's checked in the dark.
You can take a free one. Remember that.
I know.
You'll be better off. Looks like you want to bet. And
Sammy Farha is
hesitating.
talking pretty good. And he's got Freddy Deeb to bet.
Wow. That's not your flop. I know that.
And Freddie bets $9,000 on king high.
And Dr. Freud says, it's not my flop,
30.
but I'll raise 21,000 anyway. And Freddie realizes he got talked into something.
All right.
I'm happy.
And Deeb falls. So Sammy Farha takes another pot away from Freddy Deeb, this one worth over 58 grand.
And we see yet another side of Sammy Farha's game.
And taking the place of
We're not
Dr.
gonna tell
Amir
him to do anything.
Nassiri,
He knows what to do.
Shawn Sheikhan. You've seen him before.
Bob.
Bob, you playing or you just hanging out?
He's hanging out.
I mean, that's a joke.
He's not playing any hands at all. He hasn't played a hand yet.
What are you talking about?
You? Me? You've done a lot more walking than you have playing any
He's
hands.
got to look at a hand first before he play one.
Players are joking, but in a way they're serious about
This is
Bob's
straddling
lack
it.
of involvement in this game.
1993.
Mimi Tran has raised 3,000 with a king-jack offsuit, and Daniel calls with 8-6 offsuit.
Nice flop for Daniel Negreanu. He flops a 10 high straight.
And Mimi's got what we call a double belly buster. She can make a straight with an 8, and she can make the absolute nut straight with a queen.
And Mimi bets $6,000. And Negreanu check raises to 18,000.
Now, Mimi's aware that Daniel probably has a pretty big hand here. He didn't bet on the flop. He check raised her, and that's usually an indication of a big hand. So she's just going to call.
And so we'll head to the turn. A queen of diamonds. Mimi's made the nuts, and Daniel's headed for another disaster. We're back at the Golden Nugget Resort in downtown Las Vegas playing high-stakes poker. Daniel Negreanu flopped a straight after check-raising Mimi Tran. The turn card gave Mimi a cinch.
Daniel's check. I don't know if he's suspicious or he's just trying to draw another bet from Mimi, but she's going to accommodate him with her nut straight.
Mimi bets 30 grand.
Now, Daniel has been in this situation before. Right now, he's drawing dead. Now, he's really starting to suspect that Mimi might have made a higher straight.
Time, please.
Daniel's asked for more time. Now, cash games are conducted without time limits. However, any player in the game can ask for a clock to be brought out, and that would give Daniel 1 minute to decide on his hand. I don't think anyone's going to do that. They realize this is a big decision from Daniel. It's all his own money, and they're going to give him as much time as he needs. Daniel is sort of trapped here. Mimi could have flopped a set, which would mean he'd still have the best hand. She could have queens and tens. She might even have aces or kings. So it's really tough to get away from this hand.
Yeah.
Well, here comes those flying bricks.
Yep.
Because Daniel cannot just call. He's got to put Mimi all in. And I think the bricks are about to fly. No, they've just been placed.
Yeah, really.
Very
How
delicately.
much that called? You got King Jack, right?
Yeah.
It's unbelievable. Flopped the straight. Flopped another straight. It's good.
You got 8-6?
Yeah. Flopped another straight. It's just getting. I knew it too. The queen came off. I didn't even want to play.
So Negreanu raised to $130,000, and Tran called immediately, and the rivers of formality.
Queen of diamonds. How's that?
Daniel called for a queen of diamonds because that would mean 2 queen of diamonds and
You got
the deck would be
124,
foul.
I believe.
Even though this man has lost almost $500,000, he's still got a sense of humor.
And Mimi Tran doubles up through Daniel. She's now won over $190,000 in cash since joining the table.
When things like this happen to you as a poker player, when you keep losing hand after hand, you just wonder how long is it going to go on. And Daniel has been through half his stack. He started with $1 million. He's down to about 500,000. And Daniel is saying enough already.
No, you don't.
There's Shawn Sheikhan, who bought in tonight for $175,000. He raises the $2,200.
He would raise it 5,000. I'd raise him 15 more. Then we sit socialize for.
And
about 2
Negreanu
minutes.
re-raises the
Then he
$10,000.
decide what he wants to do.
And Shawn Sheikhan, who's played kind of snug, calls because he thinks that Daniel might be steaming a little bit from all his bad beats. So he puts in that 10,000 real quick.
Both players pair their aces on the flop.
Daniel bets 10,000, and Shawn is in big trouble here. Even though he calls very quickly, he thinks Daniel might have nothing. He needs to catch a 10 to win.
Turn card's a king of diamonds.
And Daniel bets 20,000. Shawn has picked up a couple of ties. He can tie with a 4 or a 7. He can win with a 10, but he still thinks Daniel might be out of line.
River card's 9 of spades.
Daniel, for once, does not get drawn out on. He bets 30,000. Shawn calls immediately. Daniel shows the ace-queen. And Shawn says, why did he have to get a real hand against me? How come I didn't draw out like everybody else?
Negreanu will finally win a hand, taking down a nice pot worth over $140,000 in cash. And I wonder what's going through his head right now.
I just had to play well and try to make good decisions. You know, hopefully I can win back a couple $100,000 and have sort of a moderate loss.
Well, Daniel has stopped the bleeding, and that's important. You know, he's won a hand, he's settled in, he played that hand very well, made Shawn Sheikhan think he was bluffing, picked up the maximum, especially from a player like Shawn.
And Freddy Deeb catches pocket queens. He raises the $2,500. Johnny Chan breaks his silence, calling with a king, queen of spades. Flop is a different suited 9-6-8.
Freddie bets 4,000. The flop did not help Johnny Chan. But he calls.
Turn cards at 10 of spades.
Now Johnny Chan has picked up a flush and a straight draw. Plus, Freddy Deeb is concerned. If Johnny has a 7, he has a straight now. Freddie checks. And let's see how fast the Orient Express is going to play this hand.
Check.
Not too fast. He checks.
River's a jack of spades.
Wow. What a card. It gives Johnny Chan a flush and a straight, and it gives Freddy Deeb a smaller straight. Freddy's got a straight to the queen. Johnny's got a straight to the king. But straights don't matter because Johnny has a flush. Johnny would have been much better off if that was the jack of clubs.
Now, Deeb bet $15,000, and Chan's going to raise to $60,000.
Now, Johnny Chan, by calling with nothing on the flop, has backed into a flush and a straight.
Sounds like ace 8 of spade, I guess, or ace 9 of spade.
Freddie's figuring that Johnny Chan could have called on the flop with the ace 8 of spade or the ace 9 of spade. He doesn't think Johnny Chan called on the flop with the king queen of spade. But he's in the right area. This would be a really good laydown.
All right, Johnny, go ahead.
Yep.
Wow.
Great play by Deeb. He folds. Johnny Chan wins the hand and collects almost 90 grand in cash.
Very interesting. Johnny Chan made a very loose call on the flop. Then he wound up making his hand, but he didn't get paid off.
Everybody's bluffing me today. Amir's bluffing me, Johnny's bluffing me.
I don't think he bluffed you.
Huh?
I don't think he bluffed you. Johnny might have had something. Right, Johnny?
I have at least a straight.
We're in downtown Vegas at the Golden Nugget Resort playing high stakes poker.
I don't want to give it away, you know what I mean? I know you had a plan there, so they want to mess with your mojo.
You guys must be playing really slow, huh?
You're stuck at $500,000?
Yeah.
You play 3 hands?
Hey,
or
believe
2
it
hands?
or not, there's some people have to
Two
work
hands.
all month or 2 for that.
Some people.
It's a rumor. Some
That's
people.
okay. That's okay. He owes 1,000. That's right. Everything's all right.
Hey, don't pick on me. I'm stuck.
No,
you want to get
I
me
talked to
alive.
Freddie.
You want to get me alive, you got me alive.
It's up to you now.
It's up to you,
He's
Bob.
talking about me, Bob. I check.
Once
he's not
again,
talking
Bob
about you.
Stupek is in
Yes,
a
I
different
was.
area code.
He said,
You're not allowed to talk
Freddie
about
Deeb posted his blinds and checks.
it. It's okay, it's okay.
Johnny Chan's raising with an ace-10 of hearts. He makes it $4,000 to go.
I
And
call it.
Negreanu will try his ace-7 offsuit.
Let's go what?
Loose call by Daniel
always
Negreanu.
do.
And Deeb's in with a 10-8 diamond, three-way action.
Always do.
Queen 9-6 on the flop.
Freddie Deeb has flopped a double belly buster with a backdoor flush draw, and he checks.
Turn cards at 10 of spades.
Both Chan and Freddie Deeb pair their 10s. Johnny's got the ace kicker. And Daniel's going to take a shot at this
Bet
pot
eight.
here.
$8,000 for Negreanu.
Now, Freddie Deeb's got a pair of 10s here. Doesn't know that Johnny Chan's also got a pair of 10s with a better kicker. He calls the 8,000. And Johnny Chan throws ace-10 away.
Heads up to the river, 5 of spades.
Daniel has absolutely nothing. Ace high. He knows he cannot win this pot in a showdown. He's very aware that Freddie Deeb has him beat. If he's going to win, he's going to have to make a bet here. And he goes for Brick City.
One brick, $50,000 for Negreanu.
There.
And Bob Stupek does his Daniel impression. And Freddie Deeb is thinking, this is a very strange hand here. What is going on in this hand?
why so much, man?
Because he wants to win it now.
Bob Stupek is finally participating in the game, reminding Freddie Deeb that Daniel might be bluffing.
Yeah.
but Freddy Deeb knows that already. Freddy feels that Daniel either has made a backdoor flush or he has nothing. Freddy Deeb's first instinct was that Daniel was bluffing, and I've seen him act on his first instinct many times. I don't know if he's going to call this, but don't put it past him.
Guess you're not worried about me having a flush. I checked the flop.
Sammy is really interested in hands he's not involved in.
You can see.
Now, Freddy knows that Daniel has been losing. He also knows that Daniel just won his first pot in quite a while. Would Daniel put in $50,000 on nothing? What did Daniel call with in the first place? Freddy is trying to imagine what he could beat. What did Daniel call with before the flop? What did he bet with on 4th Street?
I don't even have top pair. I'm thinking about calling with second pair.
I know in real poker, anybody at the table is going to call for a clock. But I'm not going to do it. But I just heard about it.
Bob Stupek's getting a little angry that the action is halted here because so far he's been Mr. Action in this game, and he doesn't want it to slow down at all.
I call it.
Yeah, I tried it
Wow,
again.
what a call.
You got it.
10-8.
That's good. Had
Second
that key
pair.
card again.
I'm not serious. 10-8.
Wow.
That's good. I had a feeling you were going to call me this time. Too many people were bluffing you today.
A wow from me, a
It's not
double
that.
wow from Sammy
Second pair I'm
Farha.
calling you with.
I see that.
Wow.
Another wow from Sammy Farha.
Wow.
Another one.
4 wows, and Freddy Deeb will take down a pot worth almost
Second pair I'm calling you with. It's not
$130,000.
even top pair.
It's
You
there.
don't have second pair. Oh, the 10, yeah.
10,
you are.
second pair. It's not even top pair. It's
Wow.
not that. It's not because everybody's bluffing me. I just.
It had something to do with that.
Freddie Deeb risks $50,000. The best call we've seen in our cash game so
That's
far.
not the point.
We're at the Golden Nugget Resort in downtown Vegas playing high-stakes poker. We've got the cream of the crop playing in this cash game. Money's flying in all directions, and small fortunes are won and lost in a matter of minutes. That's Todd Brunson drinking what, his 12th glass of Dr. Pepper already?
That was an amazing call that Freddy Deeb made.
Yep.
$50,000 on a pair of tens. He figured the hand out perfectly and followed through with his instincts. Bob Stupek is out. What a surprise.
Freddie Deeb calls with Jack-7 of spades. And Tran calls with deuces. Brunson's in with pocket fours. And Farha checks from the big blind. So we've got 4 limpers to the flop.
You got me all excited.
Sammy faked the raise but didn't
You
follow
got me
through.
all excited.
So
Moving
deuce
into
ace
the final
3.
Check.
Mimi Tran has flopped 3 deuces.
They are checking me?
Tran bets 2,000.
Now, what Mimi's trying to do here is pretend she has a weak ace, like an ace-7, ace-8,
I have to
ace-9.
think about it.
And Todd Brunson raises to 8,000. He believes her. He's trying to make her throw away an ace with a bad
I
kicker.
have to think about it.
He doesn't
And I
know
told
he's
him
going
I'm
to
not
need
even
a
calling with
4
top pair
or a
if I
5
told
to
you. I'll
win
call
this
with second
hand.
pair. You know?
That's unbelievable.
Tran
That
calls, so we'll go to
one
the
is
turn, a
the
10 of clubs.
Now, Todd checks. He realizes
Thank you,
now
Will.
that Mimi doesn't have a really bad ace. Doesn't know what she has, but
She's not slowing down. She bets $15,000.
now this is a tough call for Todd. But he makes it instantly.
River cards is 6 of hearts.
No 4, no 5 for Todd.
Mimi's not done. She bets $30,000.
And she bet $30,000 quickly.
Yep.
And Todd is thinking, am I getting bluffed too?
I mean, you know, Danny, believe me, every situation is different. I don't think because somebody else bluffed me that you're bluffing me. Just think about it. You know yourself anyway.
Why it was a spade that got me?
Huh?
It was the spade that got me.
The way the play came down and the amount of money you bet, you know.
You bet 20, him out full.
A lot of
seriously,
bluffing
about 15
conversation
maybe,
going on there as Todd's trying to make
About
this
15,000
decision.
I'm up
Right,
for.
it's right in his ear.
5,600.
But we ain't got it.
Todd's thinking, can I be a hero here too? Can I get a 5-wow call?
No,
No,
talking
because
about that hand, bro. I mean, the guy just.
no, I
gave you,
just
like,
want him to know that has nothing to do
$52,000.
with everybody else bluffing me
And
or
you're
him
sitting there
bluffing
patting
me.
yourself in the back.
More bluffing
sorry?
talk.
Can't pay lick.
And Mimi is loving it.
20 gonna be broke.
Yeah, I'm not
We all
giving-
know
I'm
that.
not
The game is not over yet. I might go broke yet. Or I
And
might
Todd
triple up.
calls.
Don't touch my money. I'm superstitious.
There's the
bro.
bad news, Todd. 3
Give him some
deuces.
big or something.
Amy Tran will win another hand. She takes down a healthy pot worth over $109,000.
This food's good.
Todd talked himself into calling.
And Mimi Tran has been a one-woman wrecking crew.
I've been playing poker for a long time. We're talking about Mimi. I never thought much of a female woman poker player until tonight. At the table tonight, excluding myself, she was the best today in all forms. Betting, bluffing, calling. At the table tonight, she was by far, excluding myself, the best player at the table.
Hey, Jake, excluding myself, you're the best poker host in the studio this evening. Excluding myself.
Thank you, Gabe Bob. Well, you got to admit, Mimi Tran was the MVP tonight. She starts with $100,000, and now she's got about $350,000. Not bad.
Well, she played ABC Poker, and sometime ABC Poker can get you the money. Mimi didn't do anything fancy. No bluffs, no unusual raises. Other players had a little too much imagination, and she simply capitalized on their mistakes.
And Daniel Negreanu's had another rough time at the table. He lost another $100,000 tonight. That leaves him down about $550,000. Can this still go on?
Yes, it can go on. Daniel could lose the whole $1,000,000 before his luck changes.
Well, it sounds like things are starting to boil. It's just a matter of time before someone gets burned. Next time on High Stakes Poker, tempers flare and sparks fly on the felt. Doyle Brunson gives Sammy Farha a run for his money as the two go head-to-head in a fight for table supremacy.
Are you serious?
Meanwhile, Good Times Freddy Deeb bares his teeth when the table questions his ethics.
No, stop the game.
It's big players, big cash, and big drama. All next time on High Stakes Poker.